Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are back. This is our movie review podcast in video form if you're on our YouTube page, youtube.com/the Nerdpocalypse, or if you're listening on the audio version only, the Coming Distractions podcast. So we are here to review this year's new Edgar Wright film, Baby Driver.
Your name's Baby. B-A-B-Y, Baby.
I'm a driver.
Like a chauffeur. Anyone I'd know?
I hope not.
I don't think I need to give you the speech on how I can break your legs and kill everyone you love.
The moment you catch feelings is the moment you catch a bullet.
She a good girl? You love her?
Yes, I do.
That's too bad. Baby Driver.
Now, this film stars Ansel Elgort, Jon Hamm, Jamie Foxx, and Kevin Spacey. Micah, you saw this film. I did not. So let's run down the plot, and then what are your thoughts?
It's a very simple plot. Baby is a getaway driver. Kevin Spacey is the guy that organizes the heists.
Okay.
He gets different people for each heist. Baby is doing this to pay off a debt owed to Kevin Spacey's character. And once he pays off that debt, Baby has a choice of whether or not to continue.
Right. Okay. So that choice is obviously not really up to him.
Right. Well, it is, but it isn't. And
Okay.
to say any more, I'll wait until you see it to talk about, the rest of it. But I saw this trailer a long time ago, and I was underwhelmed when I saw the trailer because I was just like, all right, whatever. Like, I like Edgar Wright, but I don't, treat Edgar Wright like the second coming of film directors like some people do.
Yeah, I mean, he's largely considered kind of an auteur director at this point.
Right. I saw this because, honestly, we didn't have anything else to do. And I got to tell you, man, I was very, very pleasantly surprised when I saw this film. It is, it's fun, right? It is the definition of style over substance.
Yeah, that's kind of... So I have a couple of questions, but yeah, that's kind of what I've heard. Okay.
And like the story is very, very simple.
Yeah, just super. I mean, sometimes those are the best, right? Like you've got a basic plot, and you let the style sort of drag it along.
Man, this thing is dripping with style. So, Baby has a form of tinnitus.
What does that mean?
He has a ringing in his ear.
Okay.
And in order to drown out the ringing in his ear, he constantly has earbuds in. He's constantly listening to music. Mm-hmm. I don't know how true or whatever that is to people with tinnitus.
Movies.
But movies, right? Who's going to movie?
Yeah.
So Baby's life is lived in a soundtrack, and he has multiple iPods for different, situations. And the way the music is integrated in this movie is masterful.
That's what everyone says. Everyone says the soundtrack is like an extra character, basically.
The soundtrack is like the beats of the music are in sync with the sounds that you hear in the movie.
Is it a needle drop soundtrack? Meaning, like,
yes,
it
is.
Like real songs, not just scores and things like that.
Yeah, it's a needle drop soundtrack, and if the beat is a 1-3.
Yeah.
Like, even like someone will reload a shotgun to that beat.
Oh, that's really cool.
And
okay, I like that.
And even little things like counting money, like putting money down on a table on the beat of the song. Like, it is.
But that's a very Edgar Wright thing, though, right? Like,
it's great.
Okay, so if you've ever seen Edgar Wright. I'm not sure. I think maybe he was involved. I'm sure nerds will scream in the comment section if I'm incorrect about this. But I'm pretty sure Edgar Wright was involved on some degree with Simon Pegg for his show he did Spaced, right? Mm-hmm. Him and Nick Frost. And like you see that, and then you see other Edgar Wright films like Shaun of the Dead and oh God, I can't remember the one about the bar. I forget.
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and I can't remember the other one.
I want to say like Get to the Winchester, but that's not correct. But those movies all had that, like, especially Simon Pegg's style of like, oh, I'm gonna put $5 down and it's like a sound effect or whatever, like to that idea. So I guess this is sort of taking that to the next logical step.
This is taking it to the extreme where just walking, baby is walking to a beat, and he is like just the little things, man. Like, and what else is good about this is that there are certain things, like there are certain metaphors that get visual callbacks towards the end of the movie, and like it's little stuff that if you're not paying attention you won't notice, but if you are paying attention it's like, oh wow, this is really smart. This movie's got style to burn, man. Like I was incredibly impressed at the filmmaking, the technical filmmaking.
I mean, Wright is. I mean, I know that you at least not before this didn't hold him in like super high regard.
And well, I've seen most of his movies, right?
Right.
I like them, but some people just fawn over them.
Yeah, I mean, the Cornetto trilogy is one of those trilogies where people are just like, this is like perfect in every way and all this other stuff. And I don't know that that's necessarily true. I love all of those movies. They're a fucking blast.
Right.
But it does seem like this might be one of his sort of career high marks. And maybe this is the highest mark for him to date.
Well,
it's kind of interesting too.
Well, this movie does have its issues.
Okay. Well, actually, before you get to that, what's your score for this out of 5?
Oh man, even with the issues that this movie has, it's fun. It's a fun movie, and it's a 4 out of 5. Go see it.
4 out of 5. All right, I think that's fair. That's a fair score.
It's you will have a good time. It's you'll get a kick out of it, right? Like they do really good action scenes. Like this is better than like all those Fast and Furious movies because they use real cars.
Right. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Right. Like it's ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous to the point where it's like,
jumping
okay,
a sub.
Yeah. Like I
mean, that seemed pretty realistic.
Like I
love those movies.
Like people can do this stuff. Like people are doing this stuff in cars. And it's just fun, man. I would absolutely go see it. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but like it puts some fresh rims on the wheels.
Okay, that's fair. Look, sometimes some of the better movies are films that aren't reinventing an idea, but just adding an interesting take, or just telling that story just slightly different. That make it pop, right? It makes it work. So what are your you had started to say, like, what are your issues with the film?
The action scenes are front loaded. The first action scene is amazing.
Yeah.
It's improbable, but it's amazing.
Okay.
The other action scenes are good, but it's really hard to top the car chase in the first 15 minutes.
Okay.
The women here are woefully underwritten.
Really?
It's pretty sad.
Wow.
Like
and the fact that you noticed that.
Oh yeah.
You know, even in a dumb action movie, says a lot. Right?
Like you would think that when Baby meets the other character, the other hero character, I forget her name, but she's the waitress. Right, I forget her name.
Right.
Like you would think that the movie would be like a Bonnie and Clyde thing. It really isn't. It's just like Clyde and them.
Right.
but and like she has no agency. All of her agency is Baby's like, well, what do you want to do? And she's like, whatever you want to do. Like,
oh my God, what is it, Coming to America?
right. Like a lot could have been done with that character.
Right.
But they just kind of, she's like a MacGuffin.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Hollywood is making that, you know, it's like trying to turn the Titanic, right? It takes a lot to move an industry in a different direction, and they seem to be headed that way. Right. But once it starts to head that way, you really super notice when things aren't correct. You're just like, really? Come on, guys.
Like there are two women who have major speaking roles in this film. One of them is a MacGuffin for the hero, and the other is also used as a prop for another character.
Yeah, see, that's not good.
And that's not good, especially when you can notice it while you're watching it for the first time.
Right. Yeah, that says a lot.
And lastly, some of the motivations of characters don't make sense towards the end of the movie for me. Like, I can't talk about it without getting into spoilers, but it's like, well, wait, what? Like, you're willing to do this with this person? Like, why?
Right.
It doesn't logically, it doesn't make sense. I mean, look, the only way it makes sense is because the characters read the script and we got to get to the last act.
Right. You just got to do it.
Right.
Makes sense.
It falls apart that way, but it's still a blast, man. It's still a fun time. You'll enjoy it.
Okay, there you go. So that is our review for Baby Driver, and we will see you guys next time. Again, remember, if you are listening to just the audio version of Coming Distractions on iTunes or Google Play or whatever podcatcher, you can always watch the videos of this on our larger YouTube channel, youtube.com/the Nerdpocalypse. All right, guys, we will see you guys next time.
See ya.